Hare Krishna. My name is Pujya Vishnupriya Devi Dasi. I am initiated by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj to share something how I began my journey in ISKCON and especially into Krishna Consciousness. It's a very strange experience for me because as a profession I worked in the media and Bollywood industry, and it's completely contradictory. I mean, I'm still working in the same industry, but it was a big challenge for me, to stay in the same atmosphere following Krishna consciousness. To begin with, as a kid, I used to visit the temple mostly for festivals like Janmashtami or Ram Navami. But that was only, when you come to do a kalash or when you come to have the prashadams at Govinda's. That was the only time I used to come with my parents. But I remember my father telling me that I used to crawl to Srila Prabhupada's altar and say that he is my grandfather. And there were times they had to drag me, pull me from the altar and say, no, he's not your grandfather, he's Srila Prabhupada, the founder, Acharya of ISKCON. But that's what I've been told, that as a kid, I used to claim that no, he is my grandfather. Now how, I do not know. With time passed, I started my further studies, and as we all know, when we move to our college life, we forget everything. I mean, we are not so religious, or we are not so much. A spiritual introduction was never there to me. It was only that, okay, there are deities of Radha Krishna who are beautiful, attractive. That was the only reason when I used to come, take darshan, take prasad, and go. Some years back, around in 1999, I attended the Rath Yatra. In Rath Yatra function, Haridas Prabhu from ITV, he gave me an opportunity to anchor one of the Rath Yatra's show. And that was the first time I got introduced to ISKCON spiritual leaders, sannyasis, gurus. And that's the first when I even got introduced to my Guru Maharaj. When I saw him first, it was, I didn't know what a sannyasi is, because I was not knowing the philosophy at all. After interviewing him, talking to him, I started becoming regular, coming to visiting temple regularly, started attending the programs. And when I attended the programs, it was not it was very youthful. It was not unlike, what people think, those pravachans or classes or lectures. It was none of those. Very practical, not at all, forcing you into religion. That's when I got introduced to spirituality. That's when I knew that's when I knew who am I. I mean, I'm just not this body. I was all this while, all of us do that. All of us just relate ourselves as a body, but not as a soul. But that's because we are lacking the knowledge. And to give a personal attention, ISKCON was a base, to give a personal attention in each and every person walking in and converting that person into a devotee. But the only thing what we need to give is a little bit of commitment and trying. And inquisitiveness, of course. Unless and until you ask questions, you won't get your answers. So that started getting developed when I started attending programs about various questions. I used to ask the silliest questions to my Guru Maharaj or to the ISKCON leaders, and keep asking them about, but how could you say that we are not body and we are spirit souls? And that's when I got my answer. There were times when there were festivals, a lot of culture programs, wherein we started participating, which was kind of, you could say, earlier when I was not that serious. It was a kind of opportunity, probably like a break, from a daily routine. So it was like, okay, come participate in the cultural programs, the dance, drama, and take a break from your daily routine. So it really, this kind of functions, programs, it really helped. Other than that, there were CDs, there were beautiful kirtans, which really helped. I started my chanting immediately. The next day I met my Guru Maharaj, and it really made a. When I started chanting, I never had a dedication. It was just like, okay, let's try. What happens? Let's see. I mean, it was not that I was fully dedicated or fully surrendered, and then I took the japa beads in my hand, or maybe out of some grief or some problems, or there was no problems at all. I was like completely a material girl, with friends, with colleagues, in the college life, enjoying the college life, and not understanding anything about the philosophy. But it was just following instructions of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. I took the beads and I started chanting. I said, okay, let's see, it's a challenge. Let's see whether it makes any difference. I'm any which ways happy. But when I started with like 4 rounds, 6 rounds, then 8 rounds, I felt a huge difference about everything. I mean, I was not knowing what was taking me closer to the philosophy. It was of course Srila Prabhupada's books which made me read and understand better. But chanting was something which really helped me, not only in spiritual life but my day-to-day life in my karmic surroundings. It's like a meditation. I mean, you don't have to really sit in a yoga position, or probably do all those asanas, or try all the various kind of art of livings, because it doesn't help. It helps you only for like few hours till the time you are in the surrounding, and once you walk off, you're back to your own stress, you're back to your own life. But chanting was something which actually helped me on a daily basis. We could chant wherever you are. I mean, you don't really need to sit and chant in front of the altar. You can chant whenever, wherever, and that's what really helped me. And this is what something attracted me a lot, that it's not something that I have to attend a class, or I have to sit for hours and hours in front of, in a yoga room or in a meditation room and then chant. It's something which I just have to keep doing always. After I developed, I mean, it was not me who developed, but it was the Naam, it was Krishna's holy name, which played the magic and actually made me taste the nectar of it. I was not knowing how and when and what, but I just went with the flow. Only thing what I gave from my end was commitment and a never give up attitude. This is what was taught by my spiritual master to me, that under any circumstance or under any obstacles, because these obstacles, when it comes, it makes you more strong. So don't give up. I mean, you just have to surrender and just do your duties, what you're supposed to do. After getting tremendous love, care from various devotees, because ISKCON is the only institution where they give a special guidance and a special care in each and every devotee, and each and every person who is also a non-devotee. I mean, when you come here, when you visit the temple, you'll see there are a number of people who would be devotees who will be ready to help you out, who will be ready to teach you, who will be ready to answer the questions, and give you bliss. So that's when exactly what happened with me. I knew about the dhams. I never knew what's Vrindavan. I never knew what's Mayapur. I never knew what's Navdeep. But the experience going over there itself helped me a lot. We go for a vacation. We go for a mini vacation, maybe to Goa or maybe to Bangalore or maybe to any hill station. We go there. But we won't feel that serenity and bliss and the purity what we feel in this dham. And that also in the association of spiritual leaders, in the association of your spiritual masters. It's an experience what you have to feel it your own self. And this is what motivated me even more further, because it was not that somebody was teaching me, it was not that I was just hearing and then believing, it was something what I was experiencing myself. So the best is that we experience, we know that we are not this body but a soul. Try to know more and more detailing about it and try to work towards it. Then my interest was, after knowing the philosophy, my interest lied in the topic law of karma. when I read a lot of Srila Prabhupada books, I tried to understand. And then it all affects to us, even in our material life. When we do something wrong, it comes back to us in the same form. And that's where the problem arises. So these things actually help me, to think deeper. That in the first basis, why the problem should arise? Why are we suffering? What is the solution that we can just get away from all this? And that was the answer when I got that yes, to get away from all this, there is only one solution. There's the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Only the Mahamantra could help you and help you realize more and more within you. Except for the Mahamantra, there is no other solution I could find. And this not only gave me a calm mind, which can help me materially work, grow, because there is a lot of stress in our professions, in our daily professions, in our daily routines which we go through. And if we do not have a calm mind or a healthy body or a healthy soul, we won't be able to tackle the situations. The best part, what I like about ISKCON, was that you don't have to leave your jobs, your professions, or your surroundings and, just surrender everything and come and join them. No. The best part was that you can be where you are, but only get yourself self-realize. What they taught was for not their benefit, but what they taught was for my own benefit, because it helped me getting myself self-realize. It helped me making myself into a calm person. It helped me in controlling my anger, greed, desires, because in the end, if we know what are the results. Anger takes us nowhere, it just burns house. Greed takes us nowhere. I mean, if we do greed and if we harm or if we cheat others, because of the law of karma, it comes back to us, and then we suffer and we cry further. So all these things, nobody will teach you. It's not taught in any school, it's not taught in any college, it's not taught in your friendly circle. What's taught is only depression, and we are always in a question mark, how do we solve this? So the answers I found here, and those were not just answers in books, but those were the answers which practically after implementing really helped me. So I started getting more deeper. There were wonderful kirtans. There are like groups like Mayapuris. There are groups like they all are like professional singers, but they all are doing service and kirtan about Krishna. And this is what. And it's not like it's not like it right from the bhajans, kirtans to the Syrian music, right to the rock. It has everything. So this was another point that a youth doesn't have to really. People have these misconceptions that at such a young age, why do why are you just going to a temple, and why are you into the philosophy? This is not your age. But this is what I want to try and tell everyone, that it's not that this is not your age. We are already very late. I mean, if we get an opportunity now, we are really, really fortunate to self-realize ourselves. Because there is a lot of misconceptions told by a lot of our relatives, our friends. Oh, what is wrong with her? I mean, is this her age to to leave everything, to leave the enjoyment? But it's very, very necessary to know what the enjoyment is. I mean, we do a lot of things. We do the parties. We go for recreations. But is that a real enjoyment? That's the enjoyment. We have to invest in the long term. So this is how I calculated. I mean, this enjoyment, what I do with the material friends, lasts only for half an hour, 15 minutes, or the night. What about tomorrow? Again, back to the same stress. So let's think about the enjoyment which lasts forever. And the enjoyment in Krishna consciousness is like called bliss. You are always blissful in any situation. It practically makes you stronger. It makes you confident. It not only makes you confident, but everything. I mean, all the positive qualities is in you. So what's the harm? I mean, if you just becoming positive, I think there is no harm in following and continuing the same. So that was my only request, that to all our youth outside, that there is nothing as a correct age to come closer to Krishna conscious philosophy, Krishna conscious philosophy is nothing but getting self-realized, knowing that who you are, where do you belong, and where do you have to go. And the way, through the nama japa and through chanting, how could you attain that? It will only make you a better person, and your surroundings and your atmosphere around. So thank you. Hare Krishna.